All right, everybody. Success Loading Podcast. How you doing? What's up, Sam? What's going on, brother?
Nothing, man. Nothing.
So this episode is about, learning who I am. Because the first one was on you, and then now everybody's going to know who Food Porn Detroit is, where my origins are, and things of that nature. So
yeah, we're ready. We're ready to hear about Gus's story and struggles and all this other shit.
So we can just get everybody to understand, who I am. Everybody, my name is Gus, aka Food Porn Detroit. I was born on the north side of Chicago.
Dude, you were born in Chicago? Yeah. Fuck, I didn't even know that.
Is that true? You didn't know that?
I swear to God, I didn't even know. You were born in Chicago.
I was born in Chicago.
You're not even from fucking Detroit.
No. I was born, partially raised on the north side of Chicago.
Wow.
Yep. Yes, sir.
I did not know that myself, man. I've known you for a long time. I've never known.
Yeah, that's true. North side of Chicago, Ravenswood Hospital to be exact. That's the area of Chicago where I grew up in, man. It's called Lincoln Square. It's very authentic Chicago, man. We had the bakery at the corner right there. It was an Albanian bakery. A lot of Italians. I kind of was in that area, and a lot of Polish people too as well. So, it was very interesting. So I was born. I have an older brother at the time. My father was 29 years old, and he was very successful. He owned a liquor store on the north side of Chicago, but it was a very unique kind of a liquor store. Okay. It was the very first of its kind because back then, I don't know how he had the license or who he greased or something had to have happened, but he had like a liquor store and a bar. It was like you can walk in the liquor store and he had a little bit of a bar with like 3 or 4 stools. You can sit down, order drinks, and then buy a bottle and leave. Now, at the time, this is 1984. Nobody even heard of anything like that. So he was obviously greased in or knew some politicians in the city or something in order to get a license like that.
He was grandfathered in. That's what we call it.
That sure. Yeah. I guess that's what it was, So
grandfathered in and he was, connected.
Connected. Yeah. He was connected. For lack of a better word, man, if you see a picture of my pops, he looks like Al Pacino. You know what I mean? It's crazy. My father was murdered cold blood when I was 3 months old. He was stabbed 27 times. Brutal murder. And it was, I don't know exactly what exactly the cause.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, 27 times, man, he was stabbed, which is pretty fucking crazy, man, because, I was always thinking about looking into it and having like,
it's still public record, man. I mean, you could probably pull some of this stuff up.
You know what, Sam, I thought about it, bro, and my mom, she said something and it made sense. She said, whenever you dig up the past, all you're gonna do is get dirty, and I kind of agree with her. Sometimes the past is the past for a reason. You got to look forward to the future and positivity. And when things like that happened, from what I know of my father, he was an entrepreneur, but a little bit of a gangster as well in his own way. I don't know what he was involved in, but apparently I think the altercation and why he was murdered is because it was over a woman. I know my father was kind of dating the woman that actually worked at the bar. Okay, he was like his side chick, and I guess the reason why is a couple guys came in and they were upset that my father was kind of like banging out this broad, and things kind of escalated from that point on, and they were regulars. They used to come in all the time, supposedly. So my father, there was an altercation that had happened over this woman. So my dad, said to these guys, get out of my store. They weren't listening. My dad pulls out a gun, says, get out of my store. The other one comes at him with some type of a knife or an instrument, So my dad shot one of them in the testicle, actually. Guy goes down. Somehow the other guy got around the bar and had a knife and started stabbing my father a lot, which is what leads me to believe it's a crime of passion, because usually if you're just trying to, self-defense type shit, you're going to stab somebody once, maybe twice, 3 times and get the fuck out of there. Yeah. Well, he kept on stabbing him, so.
Premeditated.
Yeah. So after that happened, my mom and we pick up, we leave Chicago, and we moved to the Metro Detroit area because my mom's parents lived in Westland. So I was a kid, I was back and forth though every summer, every single winter. I go to my dad's side of my family, so I have more family actually in Chicago than I do here. It's ridiculous. If you guys think I know the fucking food scene here, you should see me move around in Chicago. I know some of the baddest fucking, like the most amazing food over there. Everybody that goes there, they call me and they ask me what my.
Well, I definitely have a vacation buddy when I want to go away for a weekend.
That's it. That's it. So
Chicago.
Chicago's a vibe, man.
Yeah,
it's one of those cities. You love it and you hate it. I have a lot of reservations about Chicago.
It's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful. I mean,
it is a beautiful city.
Yeah, Chicago. When you say Chicago, people think that that's the state. It's a city.
Yeah.
It's a city of. Yeah. It's a city in Illinois, in the state of Illinois, but. Chicago is the main attraction.
It really feels like the state, though. I know what you're saying, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When people say I'm going to Chicago, it sounds like to me, I think of it as a state because the rest of Illinois is kind of fucked. What's going on there?
I mean, anybody that I've ever talked to, hey, where are you going? To Illinois? No, I'm going to Chicago.
Yeah. No, nobody ever says fucking Illinois.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, nobody says Illinois. I'm going to Chicago.
Yeah. And but Michigan's different in that aspect. You say, there's so
Michigan's
much.
a big state.
Yeah, there's Mac and all. There's a lot of beautiful places in Michigan.
Well,
bro.
look, when you go out of Michigan, you don't say, oh, I'm from Detroit. You say, I mean, some people say I'm from Detroit, but, they just say back in Michigan. That's where I'm from, Michigan.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, when I lived in Connecticut for 5 years, I used to always say I'm from Michigan.
Yeah. And which is proper because a lot of people they're from Detroit, but you say no, I'm from Michigan.
Sure,
that's good. So other than that, man, we moved back, and then I was here and there, but mainly here. I grew up mainly here my whole life.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school,
high school,
Livonia Franklin. I went to Livonia.
So you graduated from Livonia Franklin?
I did graduate just by the hair of my fucking chin, but I definitely graduated.
Hey, bro, diploma's a fucking diploma.
You ain't lying. The fucking 1.0.
Do you even know where your fucking diploma is right now? Because I sure as hell don't. I don't know where the fucking thing is.
I think I use it to roll
I don't
up
even
a
have
fatty.
proof I graduated, man.
I think I rolled it up to use a fatty, bro. I swear to God. It did nothing for me. I mean,
I mean, look, it's important to have. It's discipline, basically.
Sure. It really is.
Yeah.
I'm not against college or education at that.
No, man. My kids. My kids are. They go to the best schools, private schools.
Oh yeah.
But education is important, especially in today's society. It's more important than ever.
Without a doubt.
Right now, but it's just the path I chose was a different. Different path, and so did you. So did you. So you graduate barely out of high school.
So I graduate. My first job I ever had was actually a pizza cook. Okay, I was a pizza cook at Benny's Pizza at Joy in Merriman. Okay,
Benny's. They still around?
They are still around.
Okay.
Benny's has been there forever, long time.
So that's where you got your food. That's how you became a food enthusiast.
Well, not really. Actually, it was the fact of the matter is, and God bless my.
Well, other than the fact that you got tits bigger than many women. So.
And I'm losing them, baby. I'm losing them. Because of you, I'm getting fit and I'm getting right.
Man, good.
And I'm happy about that shit, bro. Because and you're right. My tits are very big nowadays, but I'm decreasing them. But no, honestly, it's the way the food thing actually. It's the story behind that. Even my mother God bless her soul. I mean, she's still alive. She's great. I love her. She was not the best cook, okay, at all. So I used to have to eat out a lot because I just was not a fan of her cooking. She never put passion and love in her cooking. She was just quick, go. Spaghetti would be ragu or pragu, was never fucking from scratch. Just, ground beef, whatever.
God bless her, bro.
God
she
bless her.
fucking took care of you by herself.
Without a doubt. No.
God damn, what the...
No, I'm not
Just
talking...
say she can't cook.
No, she can't cook. That's all I'm saying.
God damn it. He went into fucking detail. Not this, not that.
Hey, we went into detail on your shit.
Hey, but heaven lies under the mother's feet, man. God.
No.
Sorry, Mom. I appreciate you.
I absolutely adore my mother.
We appreciate you. No, we know you do, man. We know what you... I personally... Anybody that knows Gus, anybody that truly knows Gus knows his mother is everything. He takes care of her. He just bought her a new house.
For sure.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, man. I'm doing what I got to do,
Yeah.
So anyway, I graduated high school, right? And I immediately started working for Hutch. Hutch's Jewelry, if anybody knows about that.
This is after the pizza place.
Yeah, pizza place when I was 16. It was just kind of fuck around at first.
Yeah.
And then I graduated high school and I needed something. So how I got a job working for Hutch in the jewelry business. Now, this is a funny story. I've been selling weed ever since I was 13 years old, okay? It's just kind of in my blood. It is what it is. I've been selling weed a long time. So long story short, selling weed, high school, I get a call from my boy Jack. Jack is like, hey, Gus, man, I need you to drop off an eighth. At the time, Jack was dating this girl. Her name was Roberta, okay? I was like, oh, okay. So he's like, yo, come over. I need an eighth. No problem. I stop by his house, I pull out.
Dude, I'm sorry. What is an eighth?
An eighth is 3.5 grams.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not familiar.
Sure. 3.5 grams. It's like the regular bag a lot of people just, getting smoked. So bring over an eighth. And she looks at me. She's like, geez. She's like, wow, little boy, you have some really good weed. I was like, oh, thank you. I pride myself at having the best chronic, And she's like, oh my God, this is funny. She's like, hey, have you ever tried selling jewelry? I was like, no. Why the fuck would I sell jewelry? I sell weed.
Yeah.
She was like, no. She's like, honestly, you should come and work for my family. I have a feeling about you. I just think you would do great. I said, okay. She's like, I'm like, okay, sure, fuck it. I'll give it a whirl. She's like, okay, dress up in a suit and bring your resume and meet my mom tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Sure.
I said, okay. So at the time, Hutch was inside of Northland Mall. If anybody knows the historic Northland Mall, and here's some history about Northland, and you guys might not know. It was the very first mall ever built in America. A lot of people don't know that. That's facts, very facts. There's a plaque and everything. Very first mall ever built in America.
Did not know that either.
That's facts. All right? Just like Woodward, very first road ever paved. A lot of people know that as well.
Yeah.
So I walk into Northland, and at the time, Hutch, God rest his soul, was like 32 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I walk in, and Hutch is on the left, and his mom's right there. And I they took one look at me. I said a couple of things, and boom, they're like, all right, you're hired. So that's where my journey started, working in the jewelry business. And I sold jewelry. It was a hell of a journey working for that man. He was a phenomenal guy. As you know, I've spoken about him many a times. I know Sam, you know how important he was to me in my life. And
he was a great man.
He was a great man, and he was very, very, very well respected and very, very well known in the city of Detroit.
He took pride in his work too,
without a doubt,
for sure. That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah,
took pride in what he did.
Big time. He was always hands on. He's very much like you, Sam. Bro. You're very hands-on in your business. In your restaurants. You're not afraid to get your fucking hands dirty. That's what I love about you. You might be looking like a pretty boy, but I tell you what, you get in the mix and you fucking get in there. I'm
far from a pretty boy, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying. No, by looking at you, though, if I fucking look at you,
That's what everybody does. They judge a book by its cover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They judge a book by its cover.
For sure.
So looking at you, you're thinking, oh, this guy ain't gonna get his fucking hands dirty. Yeah, right. You're the first motherfucker to get your hands dirty. And in there,
because I would never tell anybody to do something I would never do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, you built to where you're at because of where you're at, because you got your hands dirty.
100%.
So that's the whole thing. So that's about Hutch. You know, it was a hell of a journey, man. And 10 years working for the man, even more. It was more like 12, kind of on and off though. While I was working for him, I went to go get my certificate at Specs Howard, working for, I got a radio and broadcasting certificate. It was a 1-year certificate. If anybody knows Specs, they know about that. And I was very interested in the radio world. Again, another person, God rest his soul, my boy Javon Hollywood, said that I should get into that world because I have a very unique voice. People have always said that to me, that my voice carries. I got a unique voice. So I said, okay. So I went to get my certificate while I was working at Hutch, and then I got a job working for 97.9 WJLB with Coco, Search, Foolish in the Morning. I'm sure you guys all remember that show.
Yep.
And it was great, man, working for those guys. As a matter of fact, I just bumped into Dr. Darius 2-3 days ago. We were at the Young Jeezy concert, and he was just, me and him were just vibing. I was talking about the old days and things, and it was great working there. I was selling jewelry. I was in the hip hop scene. It was very, very amazing time in my life. It was great. Okay. One day, I had a family member that had moved out to the West Coast, San Francisco. Okay. And he's like, hey, man, you know, come out and visit me, you know, check it out. I said, okay. So, you know, I go out there and I visit him. And I absolutely, at the time, I fucking fell in love with San Francisco and the Bay Area. I thought...
That's beautiful out there.
Oh, man. Gorgeous. The scenery, the women, the food, everything was phenomenal. So I spent a lot of time going to visit him out there. I mean, I must have went and visited him, I don't know, at least 15, 20 times. While I was out there, I realized something, that the food scene was so fucking prominent out there, and they were so ahead of us in the Midwest when it came to dining, when it came to food, the love for culinary arts. And I was blown away, really, because Chicago, you know, it's very, very amazing food in Chicago, but I never felt what I felt on the West Coast.
That's a real culinary experience over there.
Oh, it really is. You got Napa Valley. It's not far from there. Yeah. I mean, all the wineries. So
plus, man, I mean, you got a lot of wealthy people out there too. Yeah. I mean, you know, the cost of living. Not to say that there's not. I mean, you know.
No, you're absolutely right.
There's a lot of rich people
here
too.
I mean, San Francisco now is the new Silicon Valley. That's where all the big techs. Now it's even more expensive than it's ever been. But now it's a fucking shithole. You couldn't pay me to live in San Francisco with all the bums and all the bullshit going on and just people.
Yeah.
Just not.
I don't know how it is now.
But. It's really, really bad. People are stealing things. But anyway, I learned out there my passion for dining, for understanding culinary arts, and I was blown away. It was something that was really an eye-opener.
Out of this world.
Out of this world. And out there, what I noticed is that the people would go, Sam, they would go, and before they went out to the bars, right? They'd go out to the bars. They would go and set dinner reservations, call it 6 o'clock. They would spend two and a half hours eating, bro. And then after dinner, then they would go to the bar, go out, you know, go drinking, whatever the fuck that they were doing.
Well, because of the weather too. It plays a lot of, you know, when you're here in Michigan, right? You get very, very minimal days where it's every day in San Francisco, 75 and sunny.
Yeah.
Every single day. I mean, it's you know, when it's 75 and sunny here, you want to be outside all day.
That's true.
But days in August, it's 90, 95 degrees. You want to be by the pool all day.
That's
you know?
true. That's true.
And then days when it's in the winter where you just want to be in the heat all day.
Yeah.
You know, it's just...
It's San Francisco.
We truly get all 4 seasons here.
Yeah, we really do. It shakes it up. I like it. I do. My favorite season, you couldn't pay me to leave, is right now. coming up.
But right now is every day in San Francisco, brother.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right now, and that's in San Francisco is that weather, bro.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
not hot. It's not cold. They're honestly they get this weather all year round. It's like September all year round for them.
Yeah.
Which is really beautiful. That's why another reason.
That's why. I mean, if I lived there, I'd fucking have dinner every day for 3-4 fucking hours, not just 2.5 hours.
They really take this shit seriously, Sam. I swear to God, bro, it was mind blowing. So
they have a culture, bro. That's their culture.
That's their culture, bro. It really is. So I was out there many a times, and I started to really familiarize my fucking taste buds and open up my palate to different things, different menus, things I've never thought to try, different restaurants. I tried sushi for the first time out there in my life. Never had better sushi anywhere else. I mean, unbelievable. Lots of Asians live in San Francisco, so it was very heavily.
So you come back here.
So long story short, basically, I was I finally get all that, and I come back and I finish working for Hutch, and never forget, it was a Tuesday, and I was sitting in Northland Mall, and it was me and Hutch just working in the jewelry store. And I look at Hutch, and I say to him, Hutch, I fucking quit. And he looks at me, he's like, bro, are you talking to me? Is there somebody fucking behind me?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? I'm like, I'm talking to you, bro. He's like, why? Is it something I did? I said, Hutch, I came to the realization, bro, I am done building your dream. I want to build mine. I'm done working for anyone else.
Yeah.
And he looked at me, bro. This is why to this day, he's always going to be such an amazing guy in my life. He looked at me and you know what he said, Sam? He said, that's the realest shit I've ever heard any of my employees say. He's like, listen, you always have a spot here. You ever want to come back, you can come back. Do you got a job lined up? I said, nope. And I didn't. I didn't have fucking nothing lined up.
Well, that's the best way to quit.
I quit. Yeah. I had nothing lined up. And not only that.
Because that's when things get lined up.
I was the fucking brokest I've ever fucking been in my life. And when I tell you, me and my boy, Pete Mortos, he owns Rex's Golden Grill. If he watches this, he'll see. We had the funnest summer of our lives. The brokest we've ever been. I was flat broke. Didn't have a dime to my name. I quit my job, cold turkey, nothing to my name. And me and him, somehow, we had a blast, bro, all summer long. Okay, and he'll laugh when he sees this. But so I just quit, and I quit, and at that point, I kind of traveled around. I had a little bit of issues with the law. Okay, nothing crazy, but DUI bullshit, okay? Had a DUI, and I called my boy in Colorado. I said, hey, bro, I know you had DUI problems. I'm like, they want me to jump through all these hoops. I know that there's a way around this, you know? He's like, there is a way. There's only 2 states in all of America that are non-conforming at the time. He said, the 2 states are Colorado and Arizona. He happened to live in Colorado. The only way I could get a valid driver's license is if I went out to Colorado and said I live there. So I packed my fucking bags up. I called my boy Sean. He lived right around the corner from me. He was a big doughboy. All he did was sell weed anyway, so he had time. He's like, listen. I said, listen, bro, I'm packing all my shit. I'm going to stay in Colorado with my boy for about 6 months to a year. He's like, all right, bro, come on, fuck it. He's like, I'll drive you. I don't even care, and I'll fly back. First class. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, all right, cool. So he hopped in, packed all my shit. Boom. I went to go visit my boy, Ricky. And while I was in Colorado, I had a radio background, so I worked for major hip-hop radio stations out there, and I started traveling. So I went to Colorado, got my driver's license, boom, handled that. Then I traveled from Colorado, and I went to visit and stayed with my cousin Billy in Washington, D.C., and this is how it all happened. I'm in Washington, D.C., started working for 95.5 WPGC. They called D.C. Chocolate City at the time. Predominantly urban black community, and I was working for a hip-hop radio station. And I'll never forget, when Obama got elected, I was at the Washington Post, downtown, Washington, D.C. It was fucking electric, man. I got to say, it was a very electric time. While I was there, I get a call from my boy Billy from Michigan. He's like, hey, Gus, I had a dream about you. I said, whoa. Calm the fuck down, bro. You know what I mean? Fucking, what are you dreaming about, bro? You know? I got a dream about you, bro. I had a fucking dream that you were a food critic. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Why'd you have that dream? I don't know what are you talking about? He's like, no, I'm telling you, nobody enjoys food like you do. I think you should start a food blog. And I looked at him, I said, what the fuck kind of fugazi ass shit is that? Who's got time for a fucking food blog? Does it like what am I gonna do? And he broke it down to me, and I was closed-minded at the time, but he broke it down. He's like, listen, this is what you do. Have you ever heard of Instagram? I was like, obviously Instagram was just popping. I was like, right. Yeah, I heard of it before. He's like, listen, jump on Instagram, make yourself a cool logo, do this, that, and just start, being a food blogger. So I told him he was out of his fucking mind, and I hung up on him. I called him back though 5 minutes later. I said, hey, what are you talking about? He broke it down. I said, okay, so that moment, while I was in D.C., I created Food Porn Detroit. I looked at the time, the word food porn was hashtagged 38 million times. And this is 10 years ago. I don't even want to know. I think it's in the billions now or something.
Probably.
I don't know. Yeah, it'd be something to look at. But so I made the name up. I started it. And then how I got back was I had to go visit my family for Thanksgiving. Okay? So I get a bright idea, like a fucking idiot. I get a bright idea that, hey, I'm going to bring some weed back to D.C., right? So while I'm here visiting, I call one of my boys. I'm like, hey, I need a pound. Let me get a pound. I buy a pound, and I head back towards the D.C. area.
Yeah.
Well, I get fucking pulled over right before the turnpike in Ohio. All right?
Oh, shit.
Cops pulled me over. I kind of think it was a setup because it's a long story, but somebody knew I was leaving with the pound, and they knew, and I had Colorado plates, so I think it was kind of a setup. But long story short, I get popped in Ohio with a pound of weed. Now, back then, a pound wasn't shit. A pound is nothing. So, basically, they gave me 6 days in county jail, which I did. I beatboxed my fucking way all the way through that. All right. And I just paid some fines, and they dropped it to a misdemeanor. It was no big deal, I just paid court fees and fines, and then, I had somebody come pick me up, and that was that. So that was kind of like the rude awakening for me. Like, hey, man, get your shit together. So now I'm home. I couldn't even go back to D.C. I called my radio people out there. I said, hey, guys, I'm sorry, bro. I can't. I'm not coming back. They're like, what the fuck?
You got in trouble.
I'm like, yeah, I got in trouble. You know, I got in trouble, and some shit happened, and that was that. So now I'm back in Michigan. I got this site, and that's it. I just started kind of, posting slowly, understanding how Instagram worked, the algorithm, this, that, and the other. Realized that, it took a long time, but in the first month that I started Food Porn Detroit, I gained 2,000 followers, month one. And I'm like, holy shit, people are catching on to this. And so on and so forth. Here I am, 10 years later, with you. That's my backstory. That's where I came from. That's my origins. That is my fucking backstory. And honestly, without a doubt, I wouldn't change anything. I will change one thing. I wish I would have had kids sooner. That's the one thing I regret. I wish I would have had a kid younger. That's my only regret. Other than that, I got no regrets, bro. I really don't. That's the backstory of Food Porn Detroit, how it created, where I came from, how it began, and that's that. Did you know some of that stuff, Sam, or some stuff you didn't know or you didn't know?
I knew a few, but I didn't know what truly inspired you to become a food enthusiast, a foodie, they call them.
I hate that word.
I know, but it's just...
Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah, right. But, people use it in a different terminology.
Sure.
But hey, man, I mean, it's inspiring because it's not that it's hard to do, but what is so inspiring is you brought awareness to mom and pop shops everywhere.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? Like let's say there's a hidden gem, and there's a lot of them, like in Dearborn. You know, nobody talks about Tahamas. I love Tahamas.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They're the innovators of the French bread, right?
Right,
there, those guys.
but a lot of people don't know about them because they're not out there like that.
Exactly.
You know, but a lot of people do know about them, especially in Dearborn.
Sure, but outside of Dearborn, not many.
But you bring that energy, and you bring awareness to mom and pop shops everywhere.
That was my number one thing. My number one motivation was not to get into this for anything other than all I wanted to do was highlight the chefs, the front of the house, the back of the house.
Where would Eddie's Gourmet be without social media?
Let's see. They're a lot. Yeah, they're big now.
Dude, they're amazing.
They're amazing.
Right?
I was eating Eddie's 10 years ago working for Hutch.
You were.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm talking about the community.
Without a doubt. Nobody would fucking know. Nobody.
Right.
Nobody would know about Eddie's.
Now, how about Lefties? Same thing.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah, man.
I feel like, yeah. I mean, social media is so prominent.
Dude, there's a lot of franchises out there that got the clout from social media.
Without a doubt.
And became franchises.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Dave's Hot Chicken.
Yeah.
They were trendy on social media. They were,
it's true.
They were in a food truck in California.
I don't know their story. I didn't know that.
But I'm just saying, it's so the power of social media has brought out so many different brands out there.
Without a doubt.
Had it not been for social media, McDonald's, Burger King, and fucking Wendy's would be.
That's true. That's true. I got into it. I am very happy to say that I have been behind for the last decade. I have been behind consulting a lot of people's favorite restaurants.
Sure.
They don't know that I had a big hand on helping them succeed. I will say that I have had a hand doing that with many, many different restaurants. And I'm a consultant at the end of the day. All right. And, am I underpaid? Probably. And that's fine. But
look at why. It's a diluted market now.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing their own algorithm that you did 10 years ago.
It's true.
Right? So they're promoting it. You know who's making the big money? Instagram and Facebook. Because you pay for a sponsored ad. It goes.
Well, you know what? Even that, I will say, even if you have an influencer like myself, right, that's going to be blasting a restaurant, I still would have more power than that sponsored Instagram ad. But
without a doubt. But you got people out there, for instance. Let's say local. We call them local celebrities. I'm a local celebrity. You're a local celebrity.
Sure.
We're not on a national level.
Yeah, no.
But look at all the local Instagram models.
Sure.
Out there.
My God.
They say I'm Instagram famous.
Yeah, that's true.
And look, they are.
Yeah.
I don't know them.
Yeah.
They're not on TV. But they're on.
Without a doubt, I will say that Instagram, social media had a major part in all these fucking restaurants blowing up.
Yeah.
Lefties, I think would be doing well regardless whether you had social media or not. I think that's what I feel about your brand. That's how solid I feel your brand is.
Yeah.
That even without social media, you'd be doing numbers, bro. Obviously it helps.
Look, I'm grateful, and at the end of the day, any business can do good business if you take care of fucking business. I mean, if you don't take care of business, well, then you'll just be out of business.
That's true.
Somebody else will come in and take your business.
Exactly. And you know what, Sam? The thing that separates how I feel you from a lot of other people, that you truly listen to what the fuck I tell you. and I consult.
Of course, man.
You know what I mean?
I mean, look,
because
if I don't listen to some of the things you tell me, I would be insulting
my intelligence.
Your not so much your intelligence, your opinion.
My opinion
of, your opinion on the aspect of being a food enthusiast.
Exactly.
Because you're in different restaurants and you know what people like.
I do.
I've taken a lot of which by the way, you were the inspiration behind the whole Amoroso change.
Yes.
Thank you.
I see greatness in your brand. I've always have. There was just a couple of tweaks, and we did it. And you did it. Yeah. And now,
and I made my own tweaks.
Sure.
With operations.
Oh yeah.
And you live and learn.
Yeah, but, absolutely.
On another episode, we'll talk about franchising and how hard it is and how easy these fucking 2 and 3 store burger joints and think it's easy.
Yeah.
They haven't. They're still in the honeymoon phase.
I know, bro.
They haven't even experienced the bubble.
I'm not, bro.
That they're in.
That's funny.
And the competition that's so fucking diluted. But we'll save that for another episode.
We will save that for another episode.
But look, we I'm glad you're on this path with me.
Me too.
And I'm glad you're on this business venture / venting therapy session that we're gonna call a fucking podcast.
It really is for us, man. I think me and you need it very badly, and I think it's I pray that everybody has an outlet.
But you see, that's what I wanted to show you. I want to show you. You see what you did with food porn over the past 10 years?
Exactly, okay, 10 years. This is my 10-year anniversary.
Okay, this is your 10-year anniversary, right? So for the past 10 years, you have been bringing the best of Detroit and so on and so forth when it comes to the food industry, right?
Yep.
The same thing you did, we want to replicate it on a different level with our listeners, with our followers, and we want to keep it real and keep it 100, man. We don't want to bullshit or sugarcoat it. Do we have haters? Yeah. Do we have more people that love us and care about us? Fuck yeah, we do.
Without a doubt.
And I love my customers, and I wouldn't be doing this today or been able to do this without my wonderful staff and customers that allow me to, come into the office and use my brain on a different platform.
Yeah.
So
and this is great too, because this platform that we're going to create for people, and you guys are going to see later on episodes and later shows, you guys are going to see that we're going to bring in guests. Obviously, we have 2 more mics over here. We're going to bring in guests, talk about different entrepreneurs. We're also going to bring in athletes, because as you know, this fucking guy right here is very fucking plugged in with the celebrity athletes and the NFL.
Plugged in. I mean, my partner is an equity owner in my company.
And tell everybody who that is.
That's Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. Not only that,
he's coming back in a big way.
He is coming back. I know. I don't know much about. I'll be honest. When it comes to sports, I'm actually just getting into shit for the first time in my life, bro. Yeah. I wasn't a big sport fucking watcher. I played them. I played basketball, and I currently play fucking golf on a regular.
Yeah.
But watching it, I don't know why, bro. Now I'm starting to get into it. I never fucking liked watching it before, but now I really like watching it. And I think it's because I'm older now, and I'm seeing, Jesus, man, these fucking guys.
Dude,
what they do with their bodies, bro.
Sports is... Yeah. It's an art.
It really is,
bro. It's beautiful. It's
I love playing it. I just, for some reason, Sam, I never enjoyed watching it. I don't fucking know why. I just don't. But now I do. Now, this is the first year, I think, in my entire life where I'm watching basketball games and football games. I'm getting into them, bro.
Dude, the show that these athletes put on is true cinema. It's true.
It is.
You're watching something that's really happening.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
It is amazing.
These athletes, what they go through, what they put their body through, These fans don't fucking understand what they really fucking do.
No, and that's why the older I get up, aches and pains. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm hitting the gym, and then I realize, wow, these guys are fucking amazing people. These guys are jumping in the air, catching a fucking ball, fuck 12 miles an hour. I mean, some of these guys can run up to 10 miles an hour, I feel, right? At least. Sure. I feel like at least that.
Yeah. But I mean, look, we're here. We're going to give out a good product. And I promise you, those who invest in me, I give them the very fucking best in me. And that's what we want to continue to do.
We are going to continue to do that, bro. With that being said, everybody, there it is, bro. Are you happy, Sam? You got anything?
I'm happy. It's first episode in the books.
First episode in the books.
We got a lot of topics for you. Please follow our Instagram, Success Loading Podcast, at the Success Loading Podcast for, news and updates, daily from Gus. Gus is going to be handling our whole social media platform. So if you guys have any questions, concern, we'd love to hear your ideas on topics for the show, because we want to listen to our listeners.
And I'm going to be putting that on Food Porn Detroit, actually. I'm really glad you brought that up, actually. It's a very good idea. I'm going to put on a kind of like, what do you call it? Just a question and answer saying, what do people want to see on the podcast?
And here.
What do people want to see?
People want to talk about it, man. We're going to talk about everything.
Yeah.
Life. We're going to talk about guys with side chicks. We're going to talk about marriage. We're going to talk about jewelry. We're going to talk about the restaurant industry. And we're going to go back to all kinds of topics. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. And always with an emphasis on mental health, because at the end of the day, it's such a very important topic. And that's what this is what the whole podcast is about. It's about entrepreneurism and try to touch on mental health in this day and age.
All you got to do is listen, learn, lead.
That's it. Listen, learn, lead. We out here, baby. Food Porn Detroit. Sam Berry from Lefties. Don't just live life, taste life. And if you don't eat left,
you don't eat right.
That's all there is to it. We out here.
We should end the show just like always like that. If you don't live life, taste life, and then if you don't eat left, and then I'll say you don't eat right.
Yep. I like it, bro.
It was good. It was good for